What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today's reaction video is 7 outdoor objects I never saw before moving to America. So pretty much 7 objects, apparently only in America. It's going to be interesting to see whether we've seen them or not.
And outdoor as well.
Outdoor, yeah.
Interesting.
Smash that button, guys. Smash that subscribe button as well, you absolute legends. What is a like goal for a Lost in the Pond video?
I think we could hit 2,300.
Smash 2,300 as well. You snuck that in at the end, didn't you?
It wasn't. I just realised that the last 2 times I've said 2,000, so I thought, oh, I better change it.
Yeah, there you go. Smash that button, guys. Smash the subscribe button. We are streaming, hopefully at 5:30 Eastern, so about 10:30 our time tonight.
Yeah, it may be 6 Eastern, depending.
Maybe 6 Eastern.
It depends. It depends.
It'll be around that time.
But we're definitely doing it.
We're definitely doing it. So be around at that time. Smash that button, guys. Smash the subscribe button. Let's check out 7 outdoor objects I never saw before moving to America. What we got?
Hello, I'm Lawrence and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond. And speaking of lost, I'm starting to lose my marbles being in quarantine so long and being
COVID
here
days.
for now, I think it's 8 days. I've been giving some thought to some of the things that I miss about the outside world. And, you know, I'm not just talking about sort of fast food joints that are different in both countries, but sort of just really random mundane objects. You know, like a wheelbarrow, for example. I'm not suggesting we don't have wheelbarrows in England.
We do.
That's an example of a mundane object. And I want to talk about specifically 7 of those objects that I hadn't seen until I moved to America.
We're ready. That's what we're here for.
Yep, I'm really longing for those
Steel
water
water
towers.
towers.
Steel water towers specifically, because we do have water towers in Britain, but they're concrete and look really brutalist and like they were made in the 60s.
I honestly didn't know what I was talking about. Yeah.
Like, what?
America, all
steel
across the
drinking
country,
fountains?
they have these kind of water towers that are just, they're in the middle of nowhere usually, and they're made of steel, and on the facade of them, they have the name
They
of
do
the
look
town,
better,
and
to
it's
be fair.
usually something like
I don't even know where Jersey's is.
Snakesville. And you
I
never
don't
see
know.
anybody near them or in them. I don't know what they'd be doing in them, perhaps replenishing the water. I don't know how water towers work. I just know that America has a lot of them, and you see them when you're on the highway, motorway, just like our next entry. Yes,
Ooh.
highway-based billboard.
That's so American, isn't it,
It's so
billboards?
American.
We hardly ever have them in the UK.
No,
hardly
not on
ever.
highways.
Who would have thought? I certainly wouldn't have until I moved to the United States. And that's because we don't really have them in Britain. We do have them in city centres,
Yeah.
but you're not going to find them on the side of the road, you know, because it's distracting.
That is
Especially when
true.
it
Yeah,
says
it
something,
is.
you know, profound like Jesus has risen. You're going to take notice of that and, you know, crash into the car in front of you. And if you don't have insurance, then you are screwed.
It distracts me
Getting
seeing the
Ironically, a lot
McDonald's.
of the billboards.
Yeah, you'd be like, oh my god, McDonald's.
No, but like just me looking at the corner of my eye. Luckily, I don't drive on motorways. But I get so distracted just seeing the McDonald's sign that is like coming up. Or...
Yeah, we do have that in the UK though, don't we?
Yeah, but I'm just saying like if I saw something I really liked on there.
You'd be reading it,
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
oh, pretty little things. We're not sponsored, by the way. I just couldn't think of anything you like.
are for insurance, so at least you know who to call. I joked a moment ago about the kinds of things you might see on American highway billboards, but the truth is, anyone can really get an ad on those things. They often say, advertise here if there's nothing on it. And unless you have A, no heart, and B, a death wish, you also wouldn't want to crash into the back of one of these.
Definitely not.
Yellow school
So-
buses. I didn't
Yeah,
grow up
school buses is so iconic with America as well, from the TV in it.
here as a child, so of course I never got to ride one. Probably never will, unless I become a bus driver or a parent on some sort of school trip. Do they do that? I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, growing up, I did see school buses, yellow school buses, in films like Superman and Forrest Gump. Those are just examples of films.
So
but, you know, I didn't think they existed in real life. This was quite a revelation.
Nor
to
did
me.
I
They're
really,
everywhere.
like,
You know, it's not just
until we
it's
saw
not
one
just
in New York. I
Yeah.
think when we went to the museum, there was a school trip in there, and we saw them outside, and I took a picture of it. I was like, oh my god! So now I've seen it; they actually are real.
They are real, yeah, because it does just seem like it's a movie thing, doesn't it?
It does seem like a
Definitely,
movie thing.
especially in Britain, if you've never seen one in your life.
Yeah, because we do have school buses, but they're like your school, like a white one, but
Just
they're
normal buses, aren't
but
they?
they're just used. No. Did you not have a school bus like a Wickersley actual school bus, minibus?
Not to take you to school.
Oh.
If you're like where I grew up in Rotherham, if you wanted to go to school, you'd either get the normal bus or you'd walk or get dropped off.
So in Jersey, they do have. It is the normal bus, the actual normal bus.
School bus on front.
But yeah, it's a school bus, and nobody's allowed to get on it unless you're going because it stops at the school.
Yeah. Oh,
So
okay.
it's,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like
don't think there is that in the UK.
Because there's a
Indiana,
lot of
where
schools
I
there.
lived. It's also in Chicago. It's everywhere.
There is in
I mean,
America
you
too.
do see these yellow school buses everywhere. And I recognise that the majority of my audience is American, and this is probably profoundly weird to hear somebody talk about how yellow school buses are very widespread in this country. But I don't think they're used anywhere else in the world, or at least to my knowledge. They're certainly not used in Britain. I used to get to school by jogging. That's not true.
There you go.
I did take the bus, but it was one of those sort of stagecoach buses, double-decker, so I got to sit on top, not at the back with the cool kids, at the front actually. And but they weren't yellow, and as you can see, I like yellow. I'm wearing this in solidarity with the school children. I'm not. It's the first thing I found in my
God,
wardrobe.
it's getting weird.
I'd be lying if I said that yellow school buses were the only outdoor object that I learned through the films. That also applies to our next entry.
White picket fences.
The like of which you see in the film
Rich
American
people.
Beauty. And
Rich
other
American
sort of
houses.
Suburban-based films. It reminds me of American suburbia now that I've lived here long enough. But for the longest time, it was just part of the sort of movie set for me to make something look very pristine and idyllic and all of that. You'll occasionally see white picket fences here in different parts of Chicago. They're kind of rare, I suppose. But you do tend to see them at houses of families who've really taken care of their garden. Okay, and in Britain we don't have these kind of fences. A lot of
I don't
our
think we do
gardens
anyway,
are
do
sort
we?
of framed off
Some-
by brick
I mean,
walls.
some people probably definitely do.
Some people may have gone,
but
I
they're
want
not
a white
typical. Our
fence.
typical fences are brown and they're tall, aren't they?
Yeah, in gardens and stuff like that.
Or sometimes just shrubs and bushes and things. That's not a euphemism. You'll also see in the US mesh fences around gardens as well. They're kind of low down, they're just high enough that
Yes,
dogs can
proper
jump over
American.
them, but never do because they're too stupid. And they seem like they're there to just sort of stop people from breaking in. Especially those fences that have "Beware of the dog" on the side. Now, please, America or anyone watching this, don't take this as a green light to think you can go and burgle people's houses in Britain. They still have security measures and fences too.
Our fences are
I'm
big.
underplaying it, but we don't have white picket fences. We also don't have these. Allow
Oh,
me
we
to
don't.
clarify. Our houses do.
We've got post boxes on the door most of the time, haven't we?
Yeah.
So again, I feel like I've said so American so many times in this
I
video.
mean, I feel like the rich people probably have their own post box outside, maybe a separate one, but majority of them are on the front door.
Yeah, we don't have a typical stereotype kind of American where it flaps down, you grab it and stuff like that. Again, I keep saying so American because we just see it on American movies, and it is just what he's nailed it on the head on this one, to be fair to Lawrence.
Do have mailboxes in the United Kingdom, except our mail doesn't go into a mailbox, it goes into a letterbox, and our mail's called the post. I hope that was clear. And those letterboxes are usually on the front door, right?
Yeah.
So letterman or postman, Letterman is a chat show host. Postman, post women, post people, right? They have to go right up to the door and become intimate with your house. Not so in the United States, or at least not always. You will have those kind of houses where just in front of their garden or yard, they'll have a mailbox that's sticking on
Basically
kind of a
walking up.
pole, and there's just this tube, I suppose, a metal tube into which you put things, and then people have to go out and get it. I suppose it does promote exercise, which is needed
But does
in
everyone
these quarantine
can everyone
days.
access that? Someone not just walk past and take your mail out.
That's a good point. Yeah, can everyone not just
Ours
access
go
it?
into our house.
I'd go in the house, it's secured in there. Because I always never thought if you needed a key, actually, it just feels like you put it down, it opens.
Everything I've seen in the movies, you just pulled it down.
Yeah, let us know. That's a good question. That's a good one. I'm intrigued now. Let us know in the comments.
We just don't want to come into contact with the post people or mail people. It doesn't matter what you call them. They're the same entity. Well, they're different people. You get the point, basically. Don't touch the post people. And if you do, wash your hands for 20 seconds with soap, making sure not to get your water from one of these. I'll tell you a story.
Oh,
When
they
I was
are
19
American.
years old, I was a big...
It's on the thumbnail, so I do know what he's on about because it's on the
I
thumbnail.
didn't see the thumbnail.
The red things I've got on the road, and you play like GTA, you hit them off, and water goes
Yeah,
spurting
so
in the
if
air.
there's fires, a car, they can literally put
It's
that.
basically like kind of like a building dry
We have
riser,
that,
but in the
no?
road.
We have H's. Do we have that?
I don't know.
But
What?
inside,
Yeah.
I think if there's like a H, and then if you...
Yeah, we've got dry risers in buildings and stuff like that. Yeah,
But we got it on the roads too.
potentially. Yeah, I imagine
Few
we do.
places
Yeah,
on
yeah,
main roads.
definitely.
I'm sure.
No, not looking like the American ones at all, though.
No, they're hidden. Like they literally, it's like a H on the edge of the pavement, and then I think the firemen can
Yeah,
whack it. And
we don't just have a big standing out thing, which are normally red. Let us know if they're not normally red, but I've only ever seen red ones in the movies.
Gamer, I was well into video games, and one of the video games that I played was a little game called Die Hard with a Vengeance, and you're just swanning around New York City, I think, probably, and you can crash your car into just stuff, right? And one of those stuff
I did say this.
was a fire hydrant, a very American-looking fire hydrant that looks like this.
So
Yeah.
American.
They're more or less cylindrical, speaking in a pitch that only dogs recognise, and I only describe them as that to differentiate them from fire hydrants in Britain. Fire hydrants in Britain are nowhere near as sexy, and believe me, I didn't think I'd wake up today and say that either. They're just these brutal.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Oh, nailed that.
You have nailed that. That is exactly what they look like.
Them. And no, they're not for landing miniature helicopter, nor do they signify a hospital. I actually don't know what they do. If a fire breaks out in the middle of the road, when does that ever happen? I wouldn't know what to do. I don't know how to operate these things, right? Who does? The experts. Whereas American fire hydrants are absolutely gorgeous. They kind of look like elongated fireman helmets. Was that on purpose again for the benefit of the dogs? It can't have been, and I'm absolutely certain I wouldn't have made the correlation had I not been stuck in here for 8 days. I'm going mad. You know, how does the outside world look right now? Do people still have wind chimes? Do they still, do they still raise these?
Oh, that's a big one.
American
I love
flag, and I suppose there's a very good reason as to why I didn't encounter this until I moved to America, and it's because it's America's flag, so that makes total sense right off the bat. I think in Britain, pound for pound, we probably, or at least when I lived there, didn't fly the flag, the British flag, as much as America tends to fly its flag. It's very culturally ingrained to do that, isn't it? My in-laws do it. Everybody does it. Even educated fleas do it. That would be impossible. They don't have the strength to lift up fabric. But they're bloody smart, hence being educated. I don't know how I got sidetracked there. But yes, the US flag is absolutely everywhere. Again, this is not just something you'll see in films. And I think there's an understanding that Americans are deeply patriotic / patriotic.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce it? Let me know.
How do you pronounce it? Patriotic, I do.
Patriotic, yeah.
Patriotic, yeah. I love the American flag.
Although we do have a car park called Patriotic.
We do actually in Jersey.
That's what I was thinking.
And it's not just outside of people's houses that you'll see these flags. You'll see them on the back of trucks. You'll see them hanging on sort of company buildings. Don't know why I pronounced it like that. And just sort of everywhere. I mean, it really is everywhere. Sometimes you'll see absolutely huge American flags, and you can usually see them for about 5 miles away. That way, at least you know what country you're in. And so that's it. 7 outdoor objects I only encountered after moving to America.
They were good. They were very different. I've never had those ones before.
No, definitely new things we had. Shout out to Lawrence, his link's in the description. As always, go and check him out. And enjoy that.
It was good, yeah.
Smash that like button, guys. Smash the subscribe button. 2,300 likes, I remembered. We'd really appreciate it. It helps push a video as well, doesn't it? We're going to be streaming tonight, remember, either 5:30 or 6 Eastern time.
We'll set a thing anyway, so they'll know.
We'll set a thing, so you'll know. And we'll see you.
He will. Have a fantastic day.
We'll see you, legends, in the next one. Peace.